We are teachers of Group 7. My name is Sheetal Shah.
I'm Rakhi Bahade, and our kids are performing a talk show. This is how the 7th graders behave. That's good. So we have been learning a lot of good Jainism concepts, and now today these kids are going to perform that in a talk show. I hope you enjoy it. They have been enjoying this time a lot. I think they enjoy the performance more than the learning. I hope you enjoy it too. Thank you.
Jai Janendra, everyone.
Jai Janendra, everyone.
Jai Janendra, everyone. How is everyone doing today? We have a packed show for you. Are you ready?
एक minute. Can you play the video? The first video.
Jai Janendra, everyone.
Jai Janendra, everyone.
Jai Janendra, everyone. How is everyone doing today? We have a packed show for you. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you excited?
Are you excited?
Are you excited? We present to you the Jain show, Soulful.
Jai Janendra, and welcome to Soulful. I'm your host Yashi, and today we'll be discussing some wonderful concepts of Jainism. Here we have
Shreya
Arna
and Siona.
Happy
Mahaveer Jayanti, everyone.
So I heard there was a party last Saturday. How was it?
It was pretty good, but I left early because there was Pathasala on Sunday. But I met a good friend who used to come to Pathasala.
What do you mean? Used to come to Pathasala?
There are so many friends of ours who unfortunately dropped Pathasala.
That's interesting.
That is so true. I love playing volleyball so much that I finish all my chores and homework before I play.
Makes a lot of sense how we get involved in things that we're interested in. Let's move on to the next question. What motivates you all to come to Pathasala? I mean, you even left the party early so that you could attend Pathasala.
Well, I initially came because my parents forced me to.
I started paying attention to the tops of the 6 dravyas, Jeev, Budgal, Dharma, Adharma, Akash, and Ka. I then realized that the universe is made up of all of them.
Oh yeah, I also learned about Bhagwan's 4 infinite qualities. Infinite knowledge, infinite bliss, infinite vision, and infinite power. We too can attain them by following Jainism principles.
I realized that we have so much more to discover about ourselves and that there is no better place than Pathasala to teach me.
Those are all great inspiring thoughts. To inspire us further, our friends are here with an interesting story. Jai Janendra. telling you the story of Sukuma and Muni. Seth and Setani Yashabhadra, Sukumal's parents, were wealthier than the king of the city. One day, a wise sage came to their home, and with his Avadhigyan ability, he informed Setani the unthinkable. Her husband will leave her forever.
After a few months, Sukamal was born. His parents were overjoyed. When Sukamal's father saw him, he had an aha moment. He realized how momentary material things are, and looking at his son, the cycle of birth and death flashed in front of him. He decided to renounce all his wealth and belongings to become a sage. Sukamal's mother was very sad to see her husband leave when it was time to celebrate the birth of their son. However, she realized that at least her son would be with her for the rest of her life.
Just as she was rejoicing this thought, the sage's words echoed in her head. Your son will meet a sage and leave you as well. Rules were enforced around Sukuma so that he could never meet a Jain sadhu. A guard was placed around their palace-like home to ensure that no sadhu could enter. Sukumal grew up to be a handsome young man with all of the available comforts and luxury.
Once a king visited Sukumal's palace-like home. The king met him with great pleasure. Sukumal's mother performed arti of the king with the lamb and showered auspicious mustard seeds on him. The king noticed that Sukumal was very annoyed with the process. Out of curiosity, he asked Sukumal's mother why he was irritated.
She replied that this was entirely due to the fact that Sukumal lived a very comfortable life. He was used to the cool light from gems. The warm glow from the lamp was harsh, and the mustard seeds coming under his feet were like thorns to him. Everything around Sukumal was soft to the touch. The king was surprised to hear this and observed how delicate Sukumal was. Once Gyamdachara, who was Sukumal's uncle and a very knowledgeable person, came to visit their city. While visiting, he would read Jainism scriptures in a loud and sweet voice during the quiet evenings. Sukumal became very intrigued by this and started paying close attention. The more he listened, the more he wanted to know about the soul and its journey. After the evening sermons, he started to meditate.
Soon he attained Jati Smarangana, and his past life flashed in his meditation. The memory of the events he saw created a sense of detachment in Sukumal. And just like his father, Sukumal realized that there is more misery in the cycle of birth and death than there is peace. Because of this, he was so inspired by the sermon. But since he was guarded in a palace-like home, secured by his mother, leaving through the door was not an option. But however, he had such a strong desire to meet the sadhu that no tall wall or security could stop him from getting there.
He made a long rope by tying clothes and bed sheets. He tied it to the window of his room and with its help climbed down towards the backside of the building and went straight to the sadhu, Gandharacharya. Gandharacharya said, "Son, only 3 days are left in your life, so do good to yourself soon." After listening to Gandharacharya, Sukumal took Muni Diksha and went to the forest to start doing penance.
On his way to the forest, the peppers pricked Sukumal's delicate body, and blood started flowing from his feet, but he did not pay any attention to it. He remained engrossed in penance. A fox was going through that forest in search of food. She started moving forward, licking the drops of blood, and finally reached near Sukumal Muni. Sukumal Muni was engrossed in self-meditation.
That fox was Sukumal's sister-in-law in her previous life. Sukumal had kicked her in the past, and at that time, she had taken a vow to take revenge. That fox remembered the resolution and became very angry. She started eating the feet of Sukumal. Her children started to follow her, but Sukumal was so engrossed in self-meditation that he was not aware of this external action. 3 days later, he left his human body and reached the 16th heaven. Let's hand the mic over to Soulful. Welcome back to Soulful. What did you guys think of that story?
That was a great story. I liked how it taught us how we should find happiness in ourselves rather than material things.
That story is also one of my favorites. Once we have the interest to know ourselves, then we have to take steps to understand and know Jainism facts.
How would that help?
Gaining interest in Jainism and having a goal is the first step, but what kind of goal?
You know, the goal is liberation from the cycle of birth and death.
Wow, liberation. Like to become Bhagwan?
Yeah, remember Sukamal? He had every luxury you could ever want. If we saw him, he would look like the happiest person in the world. But he wasn't happy, right? He left all of that behind.
It is not easy to let go of something that you think is yours or makes you happy.
But Sukamal left the palace, yummy food, and other luxuries. He must have found something better, right?
And what would that be?
If you think we are all chasing happiness, whatever we do is to be happy. But the happiness we find in material things is temporary. Sukumal found a way to be happy forever.
That would be nice, being happy forever.
Yes, it would be, and that's possible for all of us. So the first step is to gain interest. The next step would be to know and understand the true nature of substances.
Again, how would that help?
Would you put your hand on fire?
Of course not.
But why?
Because I know it's hot and it would burn me.
So, you know the nature of fire and you use that to keep yourself safe? Similarly, Jainism teaches us the true nature of substances and 7 tattvas. Once we understand them, acceptance and applying are the next steps.
So, what are those 2 substances? As we said before, there are 6 dravyas. They are Jeev, Pudgal, Dharma, Akash, and Kal.
There are 7 tattvas: Jeev, Ajeev, Ashar, Ban, Samvar, Nirjara, and Moksha.
So, to summarize, to attain ultimate happiness and get rid of the cycle of birth and death, we talked about gaining interest in Jainism concepts. The next step would be to understand the concepts clearly. So, what's the next step?
The next step is to accept these concepts, apply them, and internalize them.
Oh, I see, that makes sense.
Thank you all for joining us today on Soulful. Stay tuned and join us next time on Soulful to learn more about the application of Jain concepts. Jai Jinendra.
Okay, big applause for group 7.